Hello everyone, this is Stefan at Lush and Salty Aquariums. What the hell do I do with this incredible, crazy growth in and out aquarium Endler tank? My lord, it's so full of fish. I take some out, they make some more. That's what guppies do. They're endlers. But this tank, it's all about the intense growth. I've got pothos, I've got palm, I've got these wandering Jew, I've got any number of other house plants that have all taken root. You see Christmas moss and Java moss in there mixing up with the root stock. Obviously you see all the guppies. In this tank there's, believe it or not, a perfectly conditioned white beta, a platinum beta, and none of the guppies seem to bother it. I feed it special food. It's hanging out at the top. You can see him right there. Speaking of the top, I've got this kind of lame nano light. It does what it needs to do, but basically it's this window here. Hey everybody, there's my reflection. That gives north-facing ambient light throughout the day. That plus this light is all the tank requires for an intense amount of growth. I've got some clover in there, Japanese clover, I forget its proper name. I've got some Anubias petite, I don't see it anymore, covered by more prolific plants. In the back is a simple sponge filter. I haven't changed it in a long ass time, but there's so many plants and roots in here that besides a few water changes, I don't really do much of anything, and the water stays clean. I have no diseased fish. Everybody's happy. Plants are the key, folks. No matter what you do, what level aquarist you are or think you are, if you can grow plants, you're gonna have better planted aquariums. And any aquarium without plants, unless it's a fish-only saltwater reef system, I think is bogus. You need to, if you're gonna do this hobby, do it with plants, figure them out. You don't have to go with the ones that grow outside of the tank. This is a kind of ridiculous, special, fun aquarium. I would consider it low tech, not quite as low as the jar aquarium here that houses my least killifish next to a monster, my version of a coffee. But all you need is light, some knowledge about fundamental plant growth, a sponge filter, some electricity, and videos like this to help you along. Honestly, I planted this tank with some flue ball substrate that I rinsed off some time ago. I stuck these wandering Jew. Now, that's probably not what this plant is, but I pulled 3 cuttings and I anchored them to the back with twisty ties, which are unnecessary at this point. The moss and the rootstock will hold it all up. Now, those plants have sent these runners off, and it's these at the bottom that you could pull and plant and restart. I've hung it over this lamp here, so they're growing like crazy. I cut them mostly to keep the weight from getting excessive pothos. This plant here does the same thing. You see this long length here, that's actually coming out of the jar. So with old kind of running sponge filters, at some point it becomes more about just breaking the top of the water with air so it doesn't stagnate, because the plants are doing the lion's share of filtration, more or less like they would in nature. So these guppies are prolific. I kept the strain only Endler, and I pull some of the males out here or there and put them in other tanks. And the females I either give away or I feed them to my saltwater fish, because I just can't handle the amount of babies that they produce. But I keep my tanks overpopulated because there's so much plant growth that the fish, the babies can survive and hide, and the water stays oxygenated to support an intense amount of well, bioload, for lack of a better word. I also have some fun plants and a little bit of decoration around what essentially is a crappy little filing system. But one thing beget the next, and this tank turned into a real kind of showstopper. When you walk in, day or night, you can't help but notice this jungle over by my window, which is by my seat where I sit, and there you have it. I've got these two awesome low-tech tanks by where I sit and read and work on my computer, and I just wanted to share them with you. If you have any questions, you want to hate on me for all the fish I am cramming into these small receptacles, I can take it. If you want some of these fish, I've offered before anyone in the Bay Area, in Northern California, in Marin, you hit me up, I'll just rake the net through either one of these tanks. If you want least killifish, I've got 50 in here, and if you want endlers, I've got God knows how many in there. Nevertheless, I love sharing. I love this hobby. I hope you do too. As always, keep your hands in the tank. Ciao for now.